Plague Doctor Mask and the many others you know. Bugs in the cases, bones on the shelf. Scary games brewing.
Haha.
Come lose
Yes, I am first. You all shall bow before my greatness.
Oblivionics, the Gothic arcade. Potions of laughter and jump scares made. Witchy and wondrous, come see what's new. This is the stream that casts a spell on you. Channel points ready, dare you redeem? Summon a scream in the heart of the stream. Mom of the macabre, host of the night, guiding the chat through shadows and fright. Welcome to Oblivionics, the Gothic arcade. Potions of laughter and jump scares made. Witchy and wondrous, come see what's new. This is the stream that casts a spell on you. The apothecary's open. Stay for the fright. Oblivionic streaming deep into the night.
Hello, 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 hello. I am so late tonight because my daughter decided to not want to go to sleep at all. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so. Oh! Oh my god, thank you for the gift sub!
Ever_Shessie gifted a tier 1 subscription to Haggy_Productions.
Thank you. I'm trying to get the baby monitor turned on. Hold on. You could hear it. Sorry. Let me turn it down. Okay. We'll put it right there. Thank you so much for the gift sub. Let me open the game. And then when I get in with Orchid and all of them, I will open the last fortune cookie for Jessica. For her, all for her. Okay, and guys, oh no. Where'd it go? Okay, there it is. Whew, I got scared. There is a lovely woman who is raising money for her daughter. I'm sure a lot of you saw me post about it in my Discord. For her daughter has special needs and grew out of her special needs stroller. She really needs a new one that, you know, she can sit in and relax while they go and do things. You know, she can't be on her feet a long time, so she is raising money for a new stroller. If you can't donate, that's okay. If you could please just share it, maybe on your social media, share the GoFundMe, or even her Facebook page. She does Mystery Scoop on Facebook, Mystery Scoops on Facebook. Her shop, she does Mystery Scoop household items. I went and looked. It's really cute. It's like shampoo and like just things for around the house. I absolutely love that. I want to order from her. So that's what's different. Press any to continue. Okay. Okay, hold on. Let me change you guys over to here. They're waiting on me. Oh God. Ooh. We're a little weird. We are going to drop these graphics down, buddy. Absolutely not. Thanks. Thank you. So kind. I can't hear. I can't hear. Where's the music? Kind of a vibe, you know? A vibe, no? All my mods that are in chat, just to let you know, the pinned message in chat, I want to stay in chat the whole entire stream. It's gonna be, you know, I want it, I saved the links and everything. I'm gonna be adding it in stream and everything. Oh, she's in chat. Yes, yes, hi, Stock Scoops. Oh, the mama in question is in chat. Hello. How are you tonight? Welcome in. Hi. Sorry, going to join a gaming lobby. Yes, she has her Facebook. I have in the pinned chat at the top is her GoFundMe link and her Facebook link to her shop. Am I gonna open it? Will it open? Hopefully, if it doesn't open, hopefully you can like copy and paste. I'm so sorry. Okay, let me get into this lobby. They've been waiting on me and my daughter just did not want to go to sleep tonight. Oop, whoopsies. Copy. Okay, we're going. I'm so excited to try out this game. It's scary, apparently. The other side.
Have you join our community of ghost hunters and paranormal enthusiasts? As you familiarize yourself with your new headquarters, located on the desk is a laptop that can be used to perform the following operations.
Okay.
Team up with other hunters by finding or creating a session. Assign a custom contract. Buying and managing your personal equipment.
Okay. I heard nothing that you said.
You can access your personal HQ tablet with the tab key. This allows access to the following.
I have to turn down my phone or it's gonna blare.
Furniture to customize your base. Unlocking, purchasing, and traveling to other headquarters. Customize and outfit your mobile base.
Okay.
Your team members and their details.
We can customize our mobile base? No, that's sick. I think they're waiting on me. I don't know. I don't. Is it? Skip the tutorial. Hi, Deadbeat. How do I get into a lobby? Let me hold. I'm going to go to Orchid's stream and ask them how to get in lobby. You know? Remember, as I said, if you can donate to the GoFundMe, awesome. Thank you so much. If you cannot donate to the GoFundMe, if you could please share those links. If you could please share those links. That way more eyes can see them, get more reach on it and everything. We're going to stop the Mom's Haven of Hope. For right now, I'll put it back up later because I like that charity. That way we could have up her charity or her GoFundMe. Let me go to Orchid's page. Orchidion.
Yeah, I jingled his bells.
What?
Behind. Oh, I guess we don't have a motion sensor, so.
Oh, we should invite. Hold on, let me invite Orcadian and. Or not. God damn, why do I get named? Why am I my dad's son?
She's in.
I'm here.
Onyx is in?
Yeah.
Okay.
How do get in lobby?
Oh my god!
How do get in lobby?
Yeah.
Now that she's here.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys don't have. You don't have to. You don't have to. No, don't enter. No. No, I feel bad. You don't have to end your game just because I'm here. Play. To everyone that takes the time to read it and share, I will be forever grateful. Yes. Yes.
Did
I posted it to my socials as well.
We sent you the code in a DM on Discord.
I got the.
Also, we're in my Discord server. if you want to join in, so people
Ah.
can see when you're talking in the like who's talking in the thing.
Yes.
I'll pull you in if you can't get into the one we're in right now. That's not what I meant to do.
Did you guys hear my entrance song on Discord? Is that cool? Hi, Shadow. How are you? Welcome in. Hi, Hoggy. Onyx. Subnautica 2 came out today. I know. I still haven't played Subnautica 1.
Hold on, I got you, babe.
I still haven't played Subnautica 1 because I'm scared of...
I can't hear you talking, but
Hi, can you hear me? Hi. I don't know where to go to get in the lobby. I'm in a garage or a basement of some type. Okay, that's what I was about to do. Oh. 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 What? I'm picking up the table. Wait, hold on. Rotate? Oh, there we go. I pressed E. Customization. Multiplayer. Can I do that when I get in the lobby with you guys? Or no? Okay. I don't want you guys waiting on me. No. Does it show the code when I type it in? Or do you guys care? Okay. Well, I mean, some people, you know, they want to keep it private, you know? Private lobby. Gateway. Oh, there we go. Let's get in here. Hi, Chessie. I'm gonna open your fortune cookie. Hold on, let me get in here first. Ooh.
We can play it back.
Interesting.
Okay. There.
So-
Ooh.
So we have to play
You
it
don't
back to
have
be
to-
able to find out.
okay, I'm gonna mute you.
I think
Please!
the lights on
If
top
they're
of
echoing-
it light up so you can see when it's recorded something.
Who's this dude? What's up, bruh?
We need another headlamp now because she's with us.
Oh my.
Yeah, that's fine.
Pyro.
She has money.
Oh, that's true. Onyx, you can buy a headlamp.
Oh yeah, let me mute you back
Damn!
in Discord.
Look at her, all buffed out.
I'm buff?
Yeah,
You buff as fuck.
Am I a hot dude?
Need to
You're
go
Buffy the
customize your
Vampire
own.
Slayer.
Look, we're all
Hot
wearing the
dude.
same shirt.
My exes. What's that say?
Yeah.
Huh? I can't see.
My exes,
My
are
exes
possessed.
are possessed.
I'm using it as an excuse to look at your boobs.
I don't mind.
I don't have boobs. Oh.
Yeah, you do.
Customization's over here, Bessie.
Oh, is it? Not
Yeah.
personalization?
You can make yourself
Customization.
pretty if you want.
The
Just left
shoes.
click it.
The shoes. Oh my god. I am kind of, you know? No, I don't want to be Mike. Michelle. Nah. Oh, I guess I gotta be Michelle. I'm so pale. Nope, that's dark. Whoopsies. Not that much. Hair. Double puffs? Oh. Wait. No. Wrong. How do I get better hair? You know what? I guess this is okay. Never mind, I can hear. Yeah, you can hear him now. It was just like loading in. Can I not change my hair color? Oh, I can. It's over here. Chat's covering it. Hee. I did not know. I literally can't see what I'm doing. Ugh. I'll just make it black, I guess. Custom. What's back here? I guess this is fine. Cute. Ooh, cute. Okay, okay. We're just gonna be fast. Because I don't want them waiting on me. I feel terrible when people wait on me. Like I'm wasting their time, you know? Like it's my fault. It's not their fault. It's my fault. Like I'm taking too long. It stresses me out. A t-shirt? Yeah, that's fine. Ugh. God. Bare feet? Why would you do that? Yeah. I feel like I'm gonna be running a lot. Probably gonna be sweating. Okay, I'm good. Ah! My game crashed. What? Let's turn off chaos tricks for it. Stop. Because it's going to be scary anyways. This game has a lot of jump scares. My game crashed. Confirm. My game crashed. My game crashed. No, no, no. Let me close Steam. Play. And then we'll open both. Should I do Vulcan?
Where is she? Did she leave?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Where does she go? Yeah, she is.
She fucking left us. She said this is too much. Come talk for me.
What? I didn't hear any of
What
that.
did you do?
What did you do? Oh, her game crashed.
Where'd you go?
Vulcan
Oh,
or...
your game crashed.
Vulcan or Stable? That's
You customized too hard.
Onyx, you have to
You're-
join
you're
shared
doing-
chat. Onyx, join
You're-
shared chat,
Onyx,
babes.
for one, once you get back in here, join shared chat.
She got sucked into the
and two, your
closet.
drip was
Do it,
so
lady.
fly that it cracked
Thank
your
you for
game.
the follow. Oh, Mama Chaos, thank you.
Mama Chaos!
You get to see me
There's shared chat.
as a bum. This is
There we
bummy.
go, there we go, there we go.
Vulcan or Stable?
I can
I
see
don't know. I
inside
just
your
choose the
neck hole.
first one. What? What?
What?
What?
What?
Okay, let's see if that
What?
works.
Huh?
Huh? Afro Puffs!
So we have motion.
Hi, Wiz! Thank you guys so much for taking care of
Do we have a motion sensor?
the shout outs and everything. There's a lot going on right now with me trying to figure out this game, and I don't have the bandwidth to do it on my end.
Put my motion
Thank you so much.
sensor. The
Temperature
temp
sensor? Yeah, I got that.
I think
Hi, Shadow.
You want me to teach
Yes,
you
we're sharing chat now.
sensors
Oh my
option.
god.
how to use the shout outs
It's called like
on
there's
what's
like
it
a
called?
paranormal app on your
Mix.
phone.
Oh wait,
and
no, it's
that,
not on
like,
Mixer Up.
lets
It's
you go to
on
the
Oh, is it
sensors.
here?
StreamerBot.
I don't
I
use
can do that
StreamerBot.
because like it automatically shouts out people that are in my stream.
I really should do that. Mine automatically shouts out raiders.
Oh.
So
I
yeah,
have
mine
Mixed It
doesn't.
Up set up
Mine
so it
just does
shouts
like
out
anybody
raiders.
that's like like people that I'm.
Let's see if that
familiar
works.
with. Like I add people to.
I'm
it.
just
So
chilling.
like if somebody.
We're
is,
just
like, I get to know
vibing.
'em, like
It's okay.
well enough,
I'm not stressed. I'm
will
not
add 'em to
stressed
the
at
list.
all. I swear.
Onyx, I
I'm
need
back!
you to calm
Hey,
down.
Merc.
I'm back.
Welcome back,
Welcome back,
bestie.
I
early.
need you to
Hi.
calm
She's
back.
You gotta finish
Welcome back,
You gotta finish
bestie.
getting.
There we
dressed.
go.
Why is
now
it-
playing a clip of
Yeah.
chaos
Yeah.
on my stream.
You
There we go.
gotta
You're supposed to match
Unless
our
that's what
shirt.
you
I
Yeah,
don't.
you didn't.
Where is?
Yeah.
Wait.
Match our shirt, bestie.
In your shirt.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Can't hear us anymore. She's in.
Yeah.
What is happening?
just type it in chat. Just press her in chat. Just type it in chat. Just press her in chat.
Thank you.
Oh my god, I can't.
I appreciate you.
Oh, there's so much going on.
Yeah,
There's so much going on.
appreciate you.
Is it a preset?
W follow.
Where's the shirt?
I think I'm already following you, but in case I'm not, I'm gonna follow you right now. I am already following you. A blast. This game is so fun.
I'm stressed out.
I'm liking it quite a bit.
Why?
Why am I getting clipped? What did I do?
They fixed a lot of the stuff in
You wore the
Faz.
There we go.
This
Oh my
is
god,
good.
Where's the shirt? Can you guys hear me? I don't know if I can. Where's the shirt? There's no other shirt. Is it over here? There is another shirt? I'm stressed out. Oh, all my exes are possessed. I fucking love it. Okay, okay. Okay, I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring it out.
Hello there.
Headwear.
For like
Am I
a
okay
day.
like this? I'm stressed out.
Yeah, you're
You
Please.
look great, perfect.
Thank God, mercy.
You should go no shoes with me. Since
No,
they match shoes, we should go no.
Put those dogs away.
Look at our matching spiderweb shoes.
I'm going to fucking win with Wiki Feet.
Spiderweb shoes.
Yeah, you can go put them on.
Wiki
Are
Feet
they
is a
free?
competition.
Do you have to unlock them?
There's a lot of.
Oh,
We're being different.
it
it's okay.
you can't hear
No.
anything when
you
you're
should have that
changing.
shit.
Oh my God, you cannot hear anything when you're in here. Turtle, please, Turtle. Hi, Penguita. Okay, I'm muting you hooligans. Hi, Penguita. Did the sound alert go off for you guys, chat? Did the sound alert go off? Tell me. I cannot see. I love you, my sweet girl, but you have to lay in your bed. Okay? Please. Aha! I did it. I did it. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you, Penguita.
Yeah, you can change the colors too.
Why? They're black and
Unless
white.
you like them white.
It's very strong.
All right. I mean, if that's the way you want them, I'm just letting you know.
What's
in case
wrong with
you
black and
missed
white?
it. There's nothing wrong.
Yeah,
with
what's
it.
wrong?
I was just
What's
saying-
wrong?
I was just
What's
saying
wrong?
You change the
Huh?
colors.
Yeah.
If you saw somebody
No.
with black and white hair walking down the street, what would you think?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not
Yeah.
wearing a shirt that says
Yeah.
"Don't bully me, I'll
It
come." I
depends.
can
Is it
bully you all the fuck I
Is it
want.
you
What
that
you
I'm
gonna do?
looking-
If it's me, is
I
are
was
you gonna be
looking at
mean?
you from the inside?
I know. I see down your
Looking
neck
at-
hole. Oh my God.
I can see all the way to your
To your
shoes.
shoes.
Down neck
Yeah,
hole.
I can see your soles of your feet. What the heck? Oh my God.
All the way
Where's
in there.
Pinguita? Y'all should
It's
give Pinguita a follow.
please do.
I will definitely give Penguita a follow.
I love her.
I
Pinguita's awesome.
shouted her out.
I got a
Such a sweetie pie.
turtle. Can you please move, baby?
And we still need to play games together. We
Nice.
haven't since we played the
Penguita's followed. Let's go.
Me.
If anyone else has the other side, let us know.
Yay.
This is up to
Seriously.
6
Yes.
people. We can play with 2 more.
Ooh, 2 more. I'm excited to play this game.
It's $11 in the Steam shop right now.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
pretty cheap.
Yeah, $11. Yeah,
Yeah. Weast would know, he got it for me.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. I thought he was
I had,
asking
like,
from. I thought.
1190.
I thought you were
I had like
asking.
1190 left of like a drawing that I won.
Oh.
After I got the games that I wanted, I'm like, yeah, fuck it. You know, why not?
It's okay, Pinguita. Don't even worry about it, girl.
I thought. So I looked at my Discord, and the only message I saw pop up was "Send me your Steam friend code." So I immediately assumed he was asking to be friends with me on
Yeah.
Steam, so I sent it. Turns out he was talking
No.
to Chaos
I,
in the
I
Discord.
was talking to Chaos.
I was
Hard to
embarrassed.
let you gift me. Normally it has that, like, you can't give new friends bullshit.
Your channel
for,
points to be refunded because the TTS message contains spam.
against, like,
Oh,
a stolen account.
guys, can I slice
Really?
some
I
potatoes?
never had that
Okay.
problem.
Yeah.
Dude, it's cheddar.
Hi, Jojo.
I love cheddar.
Cheddar.
Yeah,
Who
I've
opened
had that
this?
problem.
Let's start game. I
Who
want to play.
attempted to
Are you
open it?
making scalloped potatoes? Because definitely slice some potatoes if you're doing
I'm
that.
ready to be jump scared.
Scalp potatoes are delicious.
Can I jump in this game?
All right, if you're
Aw,
ready, people
man.
don't jump scared.
No, it's like fast.
Ugh.
We're gonna leave it on the. We're gonna do the same map.
Yeah, I'm fine with
Woo!
No, this game
What's up
is my
here?
favorite ghost hunting game by far.
Knock knock.
I'm
that.
usually a
Hang of
Faz
things, I
main,
feel like
but
doing the same.
Oh my god, I
Remember
can't.
this.
It's so dark in here.
The update.
How do
That
I-
first update ruined it though, and then they fixed a lot.
This
of it.
this update is broke. Yeah, this update is breaking it, so I'm like hoping this could be a good
Well,
like
they
in
fixed a
between
lot
for
of
sure.
them for when the Alan Wake collab thing came out.
I see.
There's still a lot of
So-
bugs though.
There
Yeah.
are still
Stream
bugs,
is
Yeah.
but
doing well,
it's
thank you.
significantly better than it was the first update.
Yeah.
came out.
Hi, Mama Chaos.
They fixed it. No longer.
My
takes
husband
time
is
to
currently
swap
making
between
cottage
items
pie and it
again.
smells so good I'm dying.
It
I
doesn't
made
take
roast
forever.
for
The
dinner
salt-
tonight.
Salt gets put down at the
It's slow
beginning of the
cooked all
animation
day.
instead of the end now.
What?
So it's not like fucky. They fixed a bunch of the bugs.
Oh,
What are
good.
you? What are you doing?
Oh my god,
You smelling
Chaos!
my hair?
Chaos!
Yeah.
Mama Chaos is in chat and Mama Onyx is in chat.
Yeah.
I know both the
Mama Cass
moms.
and Mama Onyx.
It's
Oh.
the chat moms. They're here.
The mamas.
Unfortunately,
The mamas.
you will never see Mama Weast in here. Unfortunately.
Mommy.
You'll
Sorry,
never see
Mommy, sorry,
Daddy Onyx
Mommy.
either.
Same bestie, same.
You
You'll
won't
ne-
see
you'll
Daddy
never
Weast
see-
either, but
You'll never see Daddy
Same.
Chaos either.
Yeah.
Oh, sad.
I'm
they
parentless
exist
at
in my
this
real
point.
life, but
I'll be
I'm
your
a middle
parent.
child, so they don't support me.
I'll be your daddy, Orchid.
We're watching you.
Mwah.
My mom's dead.
I'll be your daddy. Oh,
Someone came into my chat one
I'll be
time
your
and
mom.
made a joke about his dad leaving for cigarettes and never coming back. And I said, "Oh, my dad went to the hospital and never came back." And they said, "What the?"
God.
They said,
My
You know
dad's
what?
not
What
dead,
the
but
fuck?
I
Damn.
disowned him.
That's
I don't know if that person's come
My-
back in
my
my
best-
chat since then.
My best friend's mom is dead, and I
Honestly
have
reasonable.
roasted him so many times about it.
Oh my gosh.
And I should feel bad, but there's such
Thank you, Mama
tasteful jokes that I
Chaos. So
can't.
sweet.
Do you want to know something really funny? Really funny.
What's
Yeah,
up?
Mother's Day
At
is
my
really
dad's
hard.
funeral,
she's
the
gonna be your
pastor
mom.
that
Mhm.
did his like eulogy and everything, he
Stop.
told a story about my dad's foot fetish for my mom's feet in front of everybody at the funeral. The pastor told a story about how him and my dad were drinking beer while working on a truck, and then he started telling the pastor about how
That's
good looking my mom's feet are, and he told that story
That's
at his funeral.
awesome.
In 2013,
Love
she
it.
had,
I
Love
tell
it.
that story to everybody because it's hilarious.
her
Comedy is the best
birthday
way to grieve.
was Tuesday,
Exactly,
which is
exactly. We all got
Tuesday.
drunk after his funeral and
Picking the day
said
to
we
feel
missed
the
the
feelings.
That's
asshole.
great.
I love my dad. I miss him.
Absolutely. Love that shit. I'm sorry that you lost him, but
Oh
at
no,
least
it's
you're able to
okay.
move past it.
He was an alcoholic narcissist. I had a terrible childhood, but it's okay.
Oh, okay.
I have daddy
Oh.
issues. I go to therapy every week.
That explains
Hey,
the
me
gothic
too.
thing, right?
Yeah. It explains all the
I was gonna
tattoos,
say, maybe
the
that's why I love
pain.
women so much. I mean, don't you think that
All
explains
right.
why we like women more?
I love women. I love women. I love
I
women.
love women too.
They're so soft and they smell good. Their hair's pretty.
Period, queen.
They're curvy. I love women, man.
Soft, I love him.
No, seriously, my family, they make jokes and they call me a lesbian that ended
Mommy.
up
You're
with
so
a
sweet.
dude because Dylan is the only guy I've ever actually liked.
Brandon made like this lasagna casserole thing. It's pretty good.
Ooh, lasagna casserole. Wait. Lasagna casserole? Are those the same
Is it
thing?
lasagna
I know
technically?
lasagna's a casserole.
Yeah,
I
I
know
was gonna
lasagna's a
say.
casserole,
I was like,
but
wait.
it's like
He was a
like-
mess and toxic. It's
Redundant.
okay, mama.
it is okay, but
It's okay.
it
We
isn't lasagna. It's pasta with
we did all love
with ground beef and sauce, and it's not like you cut
You're
it
thinking
out.
of like
it's like
baked
glop
spaghetti?
it.
baked spaghetti.
Trust me, you really don't want to know, but it's like
Are you
I'm
talking
going to let
about?
you
Are you
know.
talking about silver dollar spaghetti or $100 spaghetti, whatever it's called?
no. So like you just
Oh.
take spaghetti, put it in a baking dish, and then you put it in the oven, and then you cut it out in pieces.
Oh, I do that and I mix
have
in
never had that.
Alfredo with the red sauce
It's a beef
That's
pasta
crazy.
flavored
and
like
mozzarella
lasagna. There you
cheese
go.
and parmesan. It's called silver. I think it's called like silver dollar spaghetti or $100 spaghetti,
damn.
something like that. It's so good. You don't understand. It's so good.
Ugh. We just knew when my grandma was doing baked spaghetti that we didn't want to eat it. If you know what,
Are
to
we
be fair,
ready?
anything
Yeah.
my grandmother made, we didn't want to
I
eat
think. Do I need to get
Get it,
anything?
bitches.
When you die in this game, you play a guessing game
cards,
where you
right? Mm-hmm.
pick between 4 boxes. Yeah, and if you pick
I don't wanna
right,
be in the back.
it will bring you back.
I'll be in the back.
We also discovered that
That we discovered what?
you can hear your dead friends through the spirit box.
Oh, that's cool. Oh my god, I'm gonna bark so many times at them. I'm gonna bark so many times at you
Fuck
guys.
me.
Oh,
The women are in the back again.
You don't want to be
I
in the
swear to
back.
God.
hey. Hey,
This game
girl.
is sexist. It keeps putting the women in the back.
That face down, ass up. Beef pasta flavored like lasagna. What? How do I get out? Am I out? Hello?
Arcadian didn't even want to be in the back with Onyx.
I know. She didn't want to cuddle.
Listen.
Yeah. How rude.
He gave you permission. What do we get? I have no idea how to play this game. I skipped the whole tutorial.
That's all good. It's mostly just the same as Fazzy, except there's different levels that you have to be looking out for.
Oh.
we'll
What
come
should
back
I
for that.
what should I get? Flashlight, headlamp.
Yeah, definitely grab the headlamp and then put it in a slot and then turn it on. And then you'll have a light, so you won't have to worry about that.
Okay.
We already have all the gear, so you don't really need to bring anything else, actually. You can grab that boom box.
Do I have something to protect myself?
The holy water
Okay.
spray is
Sorry.
what you use to protect
I got
yourself.
raided.
Oh my god. The what? Say that again? Huh?
The holy water spray.
Holy waters.
It's just a spray bottle with holy water. And you spritz the ghost like a cat.
Oh hell yeah. That's sick. Is it just like Phasmo with the 1, 2, 3, 4 like, or is it?
It's like incense. It just slows them down.
Do we? Okay, E. Is it E? Oh.
So that, I believe it's just like a spirit box. It just records sounds in the room.
Okay.
But
How
we
do
haven't
I?
gotten it to work yet, but we also just haven't had a spirit box.
How do
work
I
yet,
change
so.
things in my hands?
So you're gonna have to drop that because it's two-handed, so you can't actually do other things.
How do I drop?
G. It's G. Just
Oh,
like that.
I tried to.
She's
Oh.
rocking in the rocking chair.
My
I'll
my
hold this
my drop is
for a
Q
sec.
in Phasmo.
Okay.
I change
Well,
my
actually,
keybinds all the
I have
time.
equipment, so you should hold this actually because I have equipment I need to keep in my hands.
Flash.
But-
Okay.
Ooh, my
Woo!
Geiger
Let's
counter's
go! Party! Where's the ghost?
Hell yeah.
Where's the ghost?
buzzing. That's what
Congratulations.
Let's go.
we're trying to find out. But
Affiliate, girlfriend.
Just sit back and let the
I
music
did my hydrate beef.
let the
I
music
don't know
play
this
and
time,
chill
but I'll
out
drink
with
some
me.
water.
Okay.
We are currently drinking berry blue punch water.
Ooh, berry blue punch. I have blueberry lemonade
Hey, you're
water.
fucking muted.
Magic.
Sounds delicious.
Every single time you do this to me.
Oh, guitar.
As for me and my house, we will
Was that
serve
you?
the Lord.
That
No.
wasn't you, huh? I gotta turn my flashlight off.
Mm-mm.
Sentry, turn on your camera right now,
See if any
or
of
else
these shut
turn it
off.
on.
Chair in here.
Turn on your camera.
Another room.
Guitar.
The guitar went off.
It did not come on the guitar.
It didn't.
Alright, I'm turning the light back on.
Hi, turtle. Hello, turtle. I did. That
I don't
sounds
see
yummy.
any temps that are.
Did I jump scare you?
Lay down. No. Mm-mm. You didn't jump scare me. You didn't. I can't get jumps.
Magic, if you like Sauron, I'm about to do the Lego Sauron bust. Like, next.
It just turned off the power.
I was about to say.
Oh, that's what it turned off? The power, not the light.
Let me turn that back on.
Ooh.
Okay, we setting up in
I
here.
heard something.
No.
Oh, yep.
It moved this chair.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm getting Geiger.
Magic, I build Lego sets on stream, and I have the bust of Sauron's helmet, that I'm gonna be building on stream.
I'm here to be the bait.
Alright.
Alright.
Onyx, you can
Yes.
you can put that boombox down in the kitchen because it's in here.
How
Okay,
does it rotate? Okay.
right here.
Yep, wherever you want, baby.
Yes, there you go.
Wherever you want. That
All right,
works.
and then we're gonna get some art next to the music.
Oh my God, paint
That's
me
what
like
I
one of
don't
your
know.
French
Do we
girls.
have to turn it on? I don't know how this works.
Hold on, let me spread my legs. Paint that.
Yeah.
All right, so we have radiation. So
I'm
Onyx,
sorry. What? Hi, Magic.
Yeah, you're
Yes.
fucking
You
muted.
can hit
It's
tab
so good.
Mhm.
to pull your phone out. The
Mm.
heart
Like
rate at
horror
the bottom.
or Monster Hunter Wild decided to
80-ish
play
is
more chill
normal.
game lately.
Uh-huh.
Been interesting.
T
Nice.
for your flashlight if you
I have
want
to look
it.
at what that is.
Wow.
If you hit
Not bad.
R, you
It's an
switch to
old
camera
3D
mode,
Game
and
Boy
if you hit
game,
R again, you'll
okay.
take a picture.
Oh,
We
so
only
it's
get
like
like
it's got
4
that
deletes
style.
for us, so try not to take random
Interesting.
pictures. Middle clicking
Oh.
your mouse pulls your phone into focus.
Wait, what
and
button
that's
was
how you
phone
use the
again?
mouse and
R?
middle clicking.
Oh.
Oh,
Someone
tab
go
to
turn
pull it
the
out.
the power
Jesse,
on.
I
Middle click to
agree.
look at it.
I agree. Like the oven will usually flash and shit like that, and I'm just like, someone needs to reset
If you
this
go
thing
to
before I fucking piss.
identifier,
How
that's
do I
you
go
mark
back
it.
to the home screen?
You just hit click.
I
middle
fucking
click
love
to
Lord
put
of the
your
Rings.
phone
I've
focus, and
read
then
the
click
books
the home
twice.
button.
both
Oh,
Hobbit and,
wow. Okay, okay.
the
And then
Lord of the
middle
Rings
clicking
trilogy.
again puts it back out of focus.
Okay,
read
and
the
So
okay.
Silmarillion.
we if you go to identifier, we have radiation.
Radiation.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
Oh.
That
that's a
was
lot of info.
What?
Top
The
top right
Silmarillions?
is tasks.
Yeah, they were.
That's how you see.
I need to
our
go over them
additional
again though,
tasks
because
other
like I
than
was listening to them at
identifying a
work,
ghost.
so sometimes I drifted in and out.
And if you ever
and
need
missed
help knowing
stuff,
what to do, you
but I
can
need
go
to go through it one more
contract
time.
guide, and that gives you like a brief
Okay.
rundown of what you need to do.
Will these tasks like auto click off itself, or do we have to do it?
Yeah, they'll check off as we do
Okay.
them. What is that? Oh, that's EMF. My EMF is going off.
Just went on sale, decided to play it.
I'm
instead of
just here to
continuing
be the
through Dark Space
bait.
2, without using health
Oh.
packs. Oh Jesus Christ! Currently a sneeze away from death.
I did
Oh
not
God! I had a
do
friend
that.
that was trying to get that. Hold on.
Whoopsies.
We have EMF, but it's not EMF 5.
Where we put this up? Gee.
Did you spray that?
What does that?
Oh no, I dropped it. I'm figuring out how to do my phone.
Yeah. If you go to
Oh.
settings, you can change your
Something
phone background
opened.
and color.
Oh.
Bing. Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? I always think
Yes.
of Wedding Singer when I hear that song, and for some reason I never hear that song. I just
All I
start
think
randomly
about is-
singing it.
All I think about is Gingy singing it from Shrek. Do you really want
Did you-
her?
How do I put up my phone again? I forgot.
Oh yeah.
Tab?
Tab.
Tab.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
Tab to put it away, middle click to pull it
Yeah,
up
tab
and
puts
down
it away.
from your
Middle
face.
clips. Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah. The beep is probably us walking through this motion sensor. It's sliding chairs around. Is it cold in
Mhm.
here?
Uh-uh.
Then it's probably not.
Let's
in.
go.
Oh, it's in here, guys.
I need to open everybody's
this
Oh, it's a
streams.
different room.
I can't do it yet. I don't want to die.
Just
Oh, I love this
touch the- Yeah,
bedroom.
it's in here.
Paint it all black and I'm good to go.
Okay, we gotta move all our stuff in here. I'll grab
What?
the book,
Jesse, whose Discord are you trying to pull up?
box.
Wait, does it pull up the... Nah.
She's trying to pull up mine.
Okay. I was like, that could easily pull up my own.
Ghosty. Hello. Come get you a taste of some sweet, sweet onyx.
We got EMF, but not. Oh, well, this is what's giving the EMF reading. Okay.
Don't forget the
You
motion
just turn
sensor.
off the light in here.
Yeah, we gotta bring those motion sensors in.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
I got them. No worries. One of them. I don't know where the other one is.
What just popped up?
The uncertain. Oh, the cross
Oh,
just went
it-
upside down.
Who's fucking left?
So
I seen it.
Onyx, press R to pull your phone out with camera mode,
Uh-huh.
and then point your shit at the cross and
Oh.
press R again to take a picture.
Okay.
There you go.
Yay! I did it.
Yay.
Threw a buck down.
I did it. My
I forgot
chat
to bring an obsidian candle, by the way.
my chat box on OBS just went completely white. I don't know why. Oh.
Look at that ugly bitch.
Wait.
Look at you.
Did I get the picture? I did.
Oh
I got
shit!
the-
I fucked up.
It's all good.
I got a picture that needs
All
to be
right,
deleted.
so now that there's 4 of us, 3 of us have to vote.
Oh, I see.
It looks like, oh, there's another picture that needs to be deleted. Someone took a beautiful picture of Weast.
Oh, not that one. Sorry. Go back, Jesus. Someone took a picture of me. Aw.
I'm guessing left click is how to spray the bottle.
The cheese helped a lot.
I think it's right click.
Jesus Christ. 27
27
deaths?
deaths
Oh
in
my
the final boss.
god.
Jesus Christ.
Been there.
My goodness.
We're getting tiny bits of EMF, but nothing special.
Aw.
I have to move this easel.
Like a really
gonna be
good
away.
Dead Space.
There we go. That's better. It touched something over
Ah.
here. Probably this
What was I gonna
lamp.
do? Oh, I gotta open
Hey,
What the fuck?
W Ray!
Oh my god, that scared me.
Go!
So
That's the noise I heard
we have-
earlier.
Another raid. Let's go.
I was like, why did I hear
Buffy,
Patrick
yes,
Star
what's
all of a
up?
sudden?
What's our
That was me.
temperature
That was not a sound. That was not soundboard. That's all me.
That's you? You're so talented.
That's me.
what's our temperature?
I have a
at?
good range. Thank you so much for the raid, you guys. I appreciate y'all so much. Love y'all, and I hope you're doing
I
good.
didn't know that.
God. Okay, good. He did give the automatic shout out to y'all. Excellent.
Um,
Perfect. Welcome in, Raiders.
Where's the power box at? I'll go
It's
turn
in
it
the
on.
garage.
sorry guys, I'm trying
You have to go through your bathroom.
to pull up all their streams.
Want to
That
log
way
in
I
my
could.
garage.
try to-
Which way was it? It was this way, I think.
Onyx, did you leave the chat?
No? Oh, my chat box went white.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, I think I have to refresh it.
Power is on.
Mm-hmm.
No, you're gone. You're not in the Discord call
Oh,
anymore.
did my stream crash? No, it's saying I'm still live.
Yeah, but you're not in my Discord call, which
Oh.
is it shows who's talking on my stream.
Oh, what the heck? Hold on.
I swear I've done very little
I'm gonna
actual
die.
ghost hunting.
I'm gonna
What's
die.
happening?
I'm watching
I'm
you,
gonna
motherfucker.
die. Oh, okay. You know what? That's fine. That's okay.
Onyx, come on.
Ah! You know what? That's okay. Oh my god. Ah! I want to do this. Which one, chat? Chat, which one? Which one? Chessie, which one? You never steer me wrong. You would never steer me astray. Hurry. Middle left. Which way's left? What did I get? Oh, thanks, Chessie. Please don't. Oh my god, okay.
There's something going on.
I said you never steer me wrong, and then you completely steered me wrong.
This is dead body like that. You're teabagging her.
Who's teabagging me? I don't consent. Ah,
Oh, that's sultry.
This sounds like some
Don't
dope
talk to me
lyrics,
like that.
honestly.
Alright.
bruh.
So all we
I
have
told
to
you I
do
always
is
die first,
escape
guys.
a
Always,
hunt
always,
if we
always,
want
always.
The bonus objective. Otherwise, we're ready to go.
That's okay though. I gotta refresh my chat box.
Alright.
Hold on.
I think we should
okay.
try.
Docs.
Redbeard, I
What?
appreciate
Oop,
you.
not that.
Don't stress it otherwise, but I would hope to see you again soon.
We have.
It's a dark fantasy RPG, like a
I
PS1.
gotta
game.
refresh
Can you
everything.
Just
I gotta
close the door on that.
motion sensors
I'm right behind you. I'm right behind you.
Just
refresh.
just putting our shit back in the stash to see if it lets us keep them. Because
There was another one. It was like something Cook or something that had that like very old school pixelated style to it. There's a demo right now. I have it downloaded. Hold on, let me see. Oh, I can't see it. God damn it.
Okay.
I think it's hunting.
I think we did all of that. Let me go. I forgot to turn on my... Oh, what's it called? The discount promos for subs. I forgot to turn it on. I'm so sorry. Let's do this. Yes, start my promo. There you guys go. Yay.
Deep Dish Hunting is the name.
Deep Dish Hunting.
It's still hunting, babe. Get
Deep Dish Hunting.
coming for you.
As soon as he said deep dish, I did not expect him to say hunting. I thought he was gonna say pizza because I'm hungry.
Do you still want to try to get
Totally meant to
My
do
fat
that.
ass thought he was gonna say deep dish pizza, and I was like, ooh, from where? Because it matters. What's your guys' favorite pizza place? Tell me right now. Go. Okay, my love. I have to lurks now, but I will check in. I love you. Thank you for the lurk, Chess. Are you going live tonight,
Onyx,
Chess?
our ghost is a phantom.
Phantom.
Make sure you have phantom checked.
Phone.
Tab and identifier to select your ghost, Onyx, if you forgot. Alright, I'm just making sure she got it.
What did he say? Wait, Phantom. She said tab, then ghost, if you forgot. They know my attention span. My friends know my... Okay, you are? Okay, I shall open you, and I shall be lurky lurky too. Phantom. Wow.
I'm watching you, motherfucker.
Watching you, motherfucker. How do I get out? Oh, there we go. Settings. Audio. You guys hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, girl.
There we go. I think I'm back. Orchid. Oh, did she leave?
That's fine. She's going to the bathroom.
I think I'm
can
back in the
probably hear you,
Discord
though.
call. Yeah. Yeah. I like that you knew I forgot about my phone. My attention
You're good.
span,
I'm
it's
gonna move you in.
terrible.
Oh, you guys muted.
I
That's
hear
what I was
everything.
Yeah, you do. Multi-talented streamer. That's my multi-talented streamer right there.
Onyx?
Yes?
Not Onyx, or Cadion. Sorry, I said Onyx.
Fine,
can
I don't
just
wanna
move
talk
your
to you.
Temperature sensor up.
I want to talk to him anyway.
Thanks.
Man.
Because I realized we should probably bring a regular spirit box so we can talk to
I'm gonna
our
sit
dead
over
friends.
here and pout. Hi, Rags! Let me give you a shout out, Rags. How are
I thought
you?
you were in the car.
Where have you been, dude? I know you've been busy. I know you've been tired. You've been traveling the world, having a good time.
I'm looking in here if there's anything you want to buy. We only have 2 vertical spots left, though.
Hey, should we do identify or cleanse?
Cleanse is fun. Cleanse, you need to identify specific levels of information, so it's a little different.
Okay.
Instead of just getting ghost information, we do need a
Okay.
different. We need that stick though, if we're gonna do cleanse.
Okay. I can pick one up.
The ethereal artifact locator. We need one of those.
Shoot, I'll pick up 4 of them if I can. Yeah,
You
I'll
should
pick up
only
4.
need,
Oh,
like a couple, 1 or 2.
okay. I got 2.
We're gonna have to figure
Everybody
out what
keeps
we're
leaving.
not bringing in then. So-
Do I need to get anything?
Oh,
Oh,
we
true.
need to have the EAL, the ethereal artifact locator. We need it.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I have 2. I got 2 of them, but I need to be able to
Okay,
fit them.
Since we all have headlights, you should pull that
I
flashlight
know it.
out.
No idea what's going on.
I fit it.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, Turbo.
All
I
right.
didn't
So
know
what
you were
about
here.
maybe
No.
the infrared sound and the easel, and just keep the book and the spirit box?
I think we're mostly good at this point.
Oh, you have one
Beef.
EAL. Okay.
The
yeah,
candle
I
can
have-
probably go. I don't think we need the candle for this.
Wait.
If we wanted to make space for a second one.
Yeah, I want to try to fit another
There we go.
EAL. So if we move the tripwire.
Yeah, I'll move the spirit box here.
She
and
keeps
then,
moving my
Oh.
microphone. Please, turtle.
If we
No.
move,
Oh. Okay. There we
okay,
go. I
let me
got it.
just move that there. There we go.
I got. Oh shit. There we go.
Oh, it's
Okay.
only 3.
I got it. I got it. Yeah.
Okay. There we go. We could fit a third one, maybe, if we... Oh, we'd have to pull one of the
We don't
lighters
need
out.
3.
We don't need 3, but it's fun. I like Cleanse. Cleanse is the tutorial I did, so...
Okay. That doesn't
It's
work.
a little different, but it's very cool. So we don't need to identify the ghost, we're just looking for different levels. So we actually need all of the equipment.
And we're going to a different location also.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
no way we can bring another one. Alright, let's
I
go.
said if we pulled out a lighter, because we don't have a...
I
You
just
can
wanna-
buy another box. Hold on. You can buy another box. Hold on.
I have everybody pulled
Yeah,
up
why
and
wouldn't
Let me
tapped.
see.
Why wouldn't we be able to fit another one then? We just have to move that cross up and we can fit a third one.
Okay. I bought another storage.
Hmm.
Let's see what that does. That doesn't do shit. That's like a big thing we have to
Can you-
fit.
Have
Okay.
one.
Can you move your cross up to the 2 spaces on the top right?
Yeah, I got it.
And then we can fit a third eel in there.
Here, I have it. There we go.
Perfect. There we go. Now we have 3. Because we have to like go
Do you
around
want
the
to
house
take
with
the
those and find
old
artifacts.
infrasound receiver out?
Oh,
I
they
think
have to
we're good at
fit
this point.
everything. Okay.
Okay.
I think we're good. I'm getting in the...
Let me in. Okay.
Do you think the drive is different since we're going to a new house?
Whoa.
Hold up. Why is it not? Oh, wait, it is different. That's interesting. That's cool. Darkness.
For being here.
Visiting me. Absolute horror.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Alright.
Wait for
So
them
we
to
don't
take
need the eel
everything
until the
and then-
end. I'll take Geiger. I'll take my headlamp. I'll take this tripwire. I guess I'll take an eel. Well, actually, we don't need an eel yet. I'll just take this regular spirit box.
What's an eel? What? Oh, it says it. Okay. Introducing eel artifact locator.
We don't need it until the end.
Oh, okay.
Here, if you want,
Mhm.
you can grab this affixer crate
Mhm.
and bring that in with us.
Okay.
'Cause we'll need that.
Power's off in this house.
Oh, there we go. Mhm. Good night, Beef. Have a good night. Have a good seat. Where would you like this, Chaos? Oh, wow.
You can just... Oh, it turned the radio on in this side room here.
Where are you? I don't know where you are.
Where's the power box?
It's in the basement. The power's on, girl.
Where's
Right here. Down there. To the right. The power is on, though.
Oh yeah. It's definitely in here.
You can just deploy it right in the center of the room here. If you want.
With E?
Hold G.
Hold.
Oh, maybe it's
Oh.
right click? Oh, it's F. I'm sorry. It's F.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Your radio's on, Chaos. You're good. So we got EMF 4. It's probably gonna be here.
This thing causes EMF. So you
Oh,
gotta
yep, that's well, the shadow just passed through here.
Yeah, it ran down the hallway.
Unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
I'm gonna put this trip on up right there. Okay, I'm gonna start putting info in. So we have Geiger 500, which is
Wait, what?
evidence guide. Which one's radiation?
Bearing, not bearing. Wait, what happened?
Excellent food in the trash 517. Radiation and radiation 2.
Oh, you're right. Thank you so much. Holy shit. I see it now. You know what? It's fine.
Get him, Mama Chaos.
Oh, I missed the picture.
There's
No.
a lighter if you need it, Billy.
I need to remember.
Diesel.
Okay, so we have writing 1. Add writing 1.
Thank you, Mama Chaos.
What did she do? Least is bearing, not bearing.
She, yeah, in my
EMF.
in my ad thing.
I think that's low EMF.
There we go. Better, better.
Yeah, that's low.
So that would be boring, right?
Okay, what temps are we looking at?
I don't understand what to do here, by the way.
We're just looking.
Closed.
So all evidence matters. Okay, so we're at negative 2.1. Thermal negative 2.1.
It's still pronounced the
Oh
same.
my god,
Okay.
that scared me.
Add thermal.
Oh, well, you know what?
Negative temps.
Negative
We should have
10.
all of it. Who has UV?
I have it. I'm looking.
Alright, you see any splooge anywhere? It won't be.
I'm looking for splooge. I don't see any.
It will not necessarily be a handprint this time because we're on.
Yeah, I'm looking around.
It might just be like
Frigid?
a little bit of
In the
smell.
thermal.
I do appreciate your spelling of naked like
That
that.
fucking scared me.
This ghost is a little bitch. That would scare me.
Hold on. Where's our
That's
Geiger?
definitely how my family would spell naked.
Naked.
We
You
pronounce
guys
it like
wanna-
that sometimes. Naked.
It's
a southern pronunciation.
Here's the walkie-talkie.
Really? I'm so sorry.
I'm gonna run a scan and hope for the best. I think we have enough.
Thanks for bullying me. It's not like I'm not used to it from high school. Although that was like over 20 years ago.
What the fuck does this thing do?
I'm running a scan right now to see if we have enough information about the ghost.
I will change that
If it's-
though.
If it's red, that's bad, and we probably need to hide. Nope, we're good.
Oh.
Okay, very good.
17,
Successful scan.
14.
Thanks, Mama
So
Chaos.
now we need to get the eels. Did we?
Oh, I have a motion sensor I should
I
put
have
down.
one.
I put it here.
What do I use this for?
So now when it's
It's
on,
like a
it
pod.
should be a
Paddle
blue light.
pod.
If the light
Yeah.
starts flashing, it means you're near an artifact, and you just have to find the artifact.
It's flashing.
It's flashing.
Okay, so there's an artifact nearby.
I got it.
There you go. And you just have to find them. There's usually 2 on novice, and there's more on other difficulties.
Oh.
Okay. Oh,
Is
yeah.
it laughing?
Yeah, that's our auto recording.
Oh. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure it's like Phasmo, but
You're all
it's so
good.
different.
Yeah.
It's flashing.
Different ways of being spooky.
It might be in the
Hey,
basement.
look, a
Oh,
shadow.
it's right there.
I got
It
a
says
picture.
shadow.
I got
Someone
the
needs to
picture.
make this
Oh,
guy
you
a
did? Oh,
sandwich.
good.
Oh, speaking of pictures, I should get pictures of the rest of this bullshit. 'Cause I don't know if anyone else did.
Absolutely
shit.
not. I did not.
I'm a guy that holds a flashlight.
We do have 2 pictures of us just hanging around in the kitchen. If you guys want to delete that.
Yes, sir. Yes, chaos.
I got the second
what's our other tasks? We need to capture a flawless UV photo. So you need to find a handprint or something.
I'm looking.
Did we take a picture of the cross?
I did. I'm turning all these lights off so you can find it easier. Let's
Wait,
turn
does
our
the challenge
flashlights on,
literally
too.
give us a fucking piece of evidence?
Huh? No.
Or does it matter in this one since
No,
it's
okay,
cleansing?
Writing.
Just a flawless picture.
Okay.
Who's
It could be a
writing?
flawless picture of level 1, splooge. It just needs to be a flawless picture.
Splooge.
Yeah.
It's always splooge.
Always.
What else would it be?
Wait, I think I just saw some.
Figure it out, Onyx. Jeez.
What?
I think I saw some on the
What did I do to you?
Questioning our
here.
Splooge.
I think I saw some.
I'm just
Waste
trying to
over
figure it
here.
out.
Oh. Waste, I
What?
think there's splooge on this light switch.
This one?
This one.
No?
The one. I'm flashbanging it.
What? Oh, you're over here. Sorry. No, no.
I thought I saw green over here. Maybe not.
I'm scanning.
Oh my gosh.
Where's the cum at? Give us the cum.
Gosh, you might. Oh, you're
Yeah,
over
sure.
here,
You're
still on.
Walkie bestie, we can.
Yeah.
Give us the cum.
Give us your gummy bears, Ghost.
Welcome to hell. Sure.
I'm looking so hard for the gummy bears. Gummy bears, come here.
Ugh.
I do appreciate how much range this thing has. Like it can actually act as a flashlight, unlike Baz.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. The one.
I always use the UV as a flashlight and Faz anyways.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm not seeing any.
I feel like I'm the only person that actually like is fine with the night vision goggles.
I fucking hate them, dude.
Who just slurped?
When out in the corner in the dark. The thing
It's a
with the night
tradition.
vision goggles is when a ghost is hunting, it cuts the night vision out, so you're just standing in the dark.
Oh.
I don't see any nut. Die.
Hello.
Okay.
Oh, that's audio level 2.
Audio level.
Can you turn out the light? Can you turn the lights on? Can you flip this light switch? Can you open
So we
the
have
door?
thermal 4 and audio 2?
Can you turn out the lights? None of that matters anymore. We've already
Where's the spirit
cleansed
box?
the ghost.
Alright,
This
none
is
of it
the
matters.
No. Don't tell me what to do, you raggedy bitch.
You're not my mom!
Turn the light off.
Can you turn the light off? Is this light switch on too?
Can you turn me on?
Can you fix Weast's hair?
Can you turn out the lights?
Can you open
Can you
the
make
door?
it clap?
Turn the lights out. Open the
And
door.
throw it around in a circle?
Do you think,
Show me your wiki feet, sir.
it's possible we messed up
Do
cleansing
something.
already. I think cleansing it might actually get rid of the ghost.
Does it get rid of it altogether, or does it? Well,
I
it's
think
still
it might
talking
have.
though, right?
Well, no, I'm just playing the recording.
No turtle. Die.
Maybe it moves to a different room.
No turtle. I can't see the game with you in front of me. I'm sorry.
It's getting warmer in the room we've been in.
Oh.
Should we check temps elsewhere? Well, it's still negative though, wasn't it?
It was still negative, but it was going up. Wait.
Mm-mm. She wants in my lap so bad.
It's just a
Oh,
negative
sorry, baby.
Right here.
I don't know. We don't need to do this last challenge. Let's just run another one.
My back.
That's what I think. I think we should just run another one. Fuck the challenge. All right, next time we won't cleanse it until we have all
the way
options, I
done.
guess.
Do we need to do anything else? Like select
done.
anything, or is it just done? Okay.
Yeah, we cleansed the ghost. That's all we need to do.
All right, come light. Your job is done for today.
Oh, I guess we have to document our evidence. That's what we need to do. So let's see. We got weak EMF. We got frigid temperatures. We had moderate radiation. We didn't find any UV, so I'm gonna guess. It was like negative 20 something.
Wait, well, we had what radiation?
Moderate radiation. We didn't see any UV, so I'm just gonna put faint.
Okay.
And we had incomprehensible scribbling and single word responses for audio and writing.
I thought you said this didn't matter.
Sure.
Well, it does for
Sure.
this, but
We have
Just
matching
for our
shirts. It's all that matters.
That's all that matters.
Exactly.
Friendship. Friendship is what matters, chat.
I love that your mom said, just popped on to pick on Whis.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's what I was saying. It's funny. Apparently you did see some UV somewhere because we found one. It says we found one somewhere.
Hmm.
Do we need anything?
Hey, Twiz.
We're still full up if we want to
Still full? Onyx, have you considered playing Subnautica? You know it's gonna scare me.
Are you guys gonna get in the car? Get in the car.
Ah.
Get in the car. Get in the car.
I was watching Penguin play Subnautica 2 earlier today.
Don't forget to,
Oh, I know that
don't
it
forget
came
to
out.
skip
How was
the
it?
drive this time.
Oh, it looks so pretty. It's so pretty. The ocean scares me though.
All right, hold on. Give me a second. So
The water
I
looks
have a
really
daily
good in
redeem,
it to
and
me.
for every 5 jellyfish that people catch, we get a jellyfish rave. So I got to do a jellyfish rave real quick. So y'all are gonna hear the music for it.
Oh, can we dance
give me
with
a
you?
sec.
That's happening.
Can we
can
dance
drive
with
there.
you?
We could.
Ba-na-na-na, ba-na-na-na.
Get in the car.
I am. Hold on.
Get in the car.
I'm sorry. I was having to refresh my OBS. I own Subnautica 1. I just haven't played it yet.
I think we're just automatically going to
End up back here always. Yeah. You know what? I'm happy here with you. It also looks like
Right.
it looks like you your boobs are leaking.
My boobs are so are yours. I
Yeah.
guess we're just lactating for each other.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're doing. Yeah. Monster soup. Monster soup. Good soup.
Good soup.
Good soup.
Good soup. Let somebody else use the machine this time so y'all can learn.
What's the machine?
The fixer,
Where is it?
right behind you.
Can I have one of the eels? Or no?
Of course.
Thank you, sir. Or Jesus, why do I always do that? Thank you, Chaos. I love you.
Of course. It's all good. Alright, now we just walk around and
C. How are you?
Well, that
How are
goes
you
outside.
tonight?
Why are my items not fucking working? What the fuck?
You're like in the box. Oh. Well,
What the
okay.
fuck is
Wait,
going
you
on?
just stepped out of
Oh,
it.
it's because I have this.
Oh. Oh, the easel.
I have a.
The easel.
I have the easel.
The easel.
I'm going to paint someone naked, and it's better be chaos.
I was about to say it's gonna be chaos.
Just like one of your French girls.
It's better be chaos. Chaos, I'm gonna need you to sit down and spread.
Oh. Wow. Oh my god. You people live like this?
Holy shit!
Ready,
Bitch, you fucking scared me!
Who? Oh, was he in here?
I think it's in here.
Hmm.
The bathroom or here?
It was here in the bathroom.
Well, either way, it's here somewhere.
EMF 3?
Alright, so we've got. So what EMF is that? We have moderate EMF right now.
EMF?
Are you? How are you? Are you good today? How?
Grabbing the boot box and shit.
Are you?
Jesus.
Do you want a kiss? Where are you?
Kinda-
How old are you?
Hi, Rags! I have returned.
We got
Hey,
spirit
Onyx,
box.
I'm here lurking. Much
We
love,
got
everyone.
spirit box.
Oh, wait,
You got
no.
spirit box?
Yeah.
We don't want to
Yeah.
use this yet.
Oh. Ooh.
Thank you, Rags. Thank you so much. I understand. It's okay. Thank you for the lurk.
I'd say. Was that that might have been unintelligible.
Well, let's see. Did this capture anything?
Hold on.
No, it didn't yet.
Mm-mm.
Hey, talk to me again, boo.
Oh, we got EMF.
What you
Ooh,
gotta
we got
say?
EMF 5. We got big EMF.
Ooh.
How crazy are you?
Big and
If I took you out to eat, would you eat some of my food even though you ordered something you didn't want? That sounds unintelligible.
Is that what happened?
Radiation. We got-
That sounded unintelligible.
What was my radiation reading? Where's my radiation?
Oh my god. I'm stuck on
595. All right, we have medium radiation. Oh, we've got scribbles. We've got scribbles.
scribbles.
So writing and comprehensible scribbling.
Incomprehensible scribbling.
We've got moderate radiation.
I'm incomprehensible.
Oh, hey.
Sounds.
Oh, bitch.
Look
Take
at
a
this
picture.
ugly motherfucker.
Excuse me.
Well, I took a shitty photo of our writing apparently.
Sorry.
You got it though.
It counted as
Sorry.
flawless.
Flawless
I'll take
capture of
it.
the ghost. Yeah, let's go.
No, I captured this picture, the drawing.
The drawing.
It gave us, I think it gave us a flawless capture of the ghost though.
It says writing.
Oh, okay.
Writing
quality
photo,
through
yeah.
flawless. Either way,
Oh, I see, I
missed
see,
the ghost.
yeah.
I missed the ghost. So I'm glad it gave me
Ghostin'.
something. Otherwise
Hi,
I would've just put a
Jess.
garbage pic.
We don't even need the ghost though. We just need UV and cross. Ooh, does everyone have the UV on them?
I do.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Have to look around. See what we got.
You want me to?
Spunk.
I have nothing on me. If you want to be ready to take a picture, I can look at Spunk. I love looking at Spunk. That I fucking
Well-
honestly, Onyx, I love that emote. That goes so well. Hold on. Hold on, let me get a good
cool is
emote to pair with
I
that.
can do both.
Okay.
Like a fine wine. God damn it, why is this not working?
I'm just trying to make sure I have all of you
Oh my God,
guys'
do it somewhere
streams open, so I want to make sure I'm being counted. Twitch.
Can't have a lot of those.
Hold on. There we go.
Ba-da-da-da, 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 ba-da-da-da.
It goes so well.
I love that.
It's
Is that
so-
Genjar?
That's so good. The fucking Gengar, yeah.
Yeah. I have that plushie sitting right behind me as we speak.
Gengar's my favorite Pokemon.
Gengar's my favorite Pokemon.
I have that. I
Oh my
have
God,
that
we should
stuffed
kiss.
animal on my.
Alright.
Mwah.
Turn the TV on over here.
What's on?
Static. My favorite.
Oh.
Where's all the comm at?
I'm just running around.
Oh yeah. Look at
Where?
that
Where?
man.
Where?
It was right here.
Oh, that is the biggest hand I've ever seen.
A full. So that's.
Holy
that's
shit.
UV level
Take picture?
3. I did. So we have full UV, easily identifiable patterns.
Full
So now we just
UV.
need, thermal.
You didn't get the picture because it's not a flawless.
What was? It's right behind you. What was? It was
Sorry, that
right
my-
behind you. It was.
That was my stomach. I'm so sorry.
What was
really
audio?
I took a new picture.
Oh, is it in here now?
I said unintelligible, because I
Alright,
couldn't
let's
understand what
delete-
it was saying.
Okay.
Delete the duplicate photo that I started.
This is called The Other Side. It is
It's in here.
a Faz clone. I'm gonna try the spirit
-0.7?
box again.
-7.
It's in the other room, guys. We have to move everything.
Oh.
Hey, can you say
Awesome.
something unintelligible for us,
We don't have-
Ghost?
We don't have to move everything.
What you
We
doing?
just have to move this because we're basically done.
What do you smell like? How many pickles can you fit in your mouth?
Cross. Don't do it yet.
Well, I'm gonna let one of you guys do it.
Which Batman costume is your favorite?
-10 to 17.
Do you like? What would you rate my feet on WikiFeet?
Why do I
Where
hear my
are you?
heartbeat?
I heard your heartbeat too.
It's probably
Where are you? How old are you?
Is this fast? Oh no, it's not.
3?
Like you said, it's the other
Out of
side.
5? Come on, look at them! Look at them tootsies.
It's like exactly like
It's not
Faz.
looking like they have no
Well, not
blood
exactly.
flowing
It's a
through
little bit
them.
different.
Come on.
Who wants to use the effect?
I like it. I like how much smoother it runs in Phasmophobia,
I'm
though.
good. I don't like responsibility.
I hear footsteps.
I already do that for my paid
How
job.
do I use this?
So interact with the screen here.
Where are you? How old are you? Harry, like that's the Harry. Does Harry meet perfect? What?
And
Do you
then-
think
would you
Weast
rate
is
perfect
cute?
feet as Harry?
Do you like Weast? Yes or
Am
no?
I cute?
Help.
Type
Am I
help.
cute?
Is he
Do you
cute?
like me?
Circle yes or no.
Am I cute? Circle it. Do it. Yes, or both. Honestly.
Maybe.
Tell you how to do it.
Absolutely.
I'll take indecisive.
Indecisive.
Oh, we got
Oh
more
man.
cum.
Hell yeah, let me lick it.
Fresh hot cum.
So we add evidence.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
What do we got?
So
More scribbles?
add. What am I typing in?
So you need to. Here, I'll go over it with you. So you need
It
to
actually does
add
run pretty good.
EMF 4.
I really like how this
Okay,
runs
hold on,
better
hold on.
more than Faz.
Was
that's
that- was it-
intelligible phrases?
Ye-
That is intelligent. Yeah, that
Mhm.
is.
Full phrase. Yep.
Was it
Okay.
full or was that like word? I don't know.
Well, so it's either no words.
The same looks like it
one
runs
word,
pretty
or
good,
full
actually, yeah.
sentences.
Oh, I see. I see it. I see it. Okay.
It
okay.
runs really good.
Okay,
It
so
ju-
Spirit
okay,
Box
and it just
4
wrote in the
doesn't-
books.
Hey, 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 hey.
It just wrote in the
Spirit
book.
Box-
fuck up, Stripe.
somewhere.
Spirit Box isn't being recognized.
Audio,
Thank you, Crawlick.
Audio 4. Audio 3 is what you want.
Audio 3.
Audio 3. Okay. And then writing. What did we get for
Therm-
writing?
Thermal 3.
Writing is just scribbles.
Radiation 2.
Radiation 2. I will hydrate. Let me get the evidence.
We have UV 3. I'm gonna turn that on.
Writing 1.
And writing 1.
UV 3.
What
then when
were
you're done
radiation,
at-
thermal, and
when you're-
EMF? Sorry.
Yeah. When you're done entering everything.
3
hit
and 2.
scan.
Hold on. Oh, 3. Wait. What was
Did it
EMF?
interact? Did it interact with the
EMF
cross
is
yet?
4. Right? Chaos?
And
No.
then
No?
3 was
Then we can't do
thermal.
it yet.
Chaos.
That's part of our tasks.
Okay.
Chaos.
We have to wait for it to interact with the cross. What's up?
Chaos. EMF was 4, right?
Yeah, we had EMF 4.
And what was thermal and radiation?
3, 2.
Let's see. EMF 4, thermals 3, and radiation's 2. Although we should probably recheck
Okay.
radiation now.
Okay, thermal.
I said-
What? 3?
3 times. It was
Thermal was
3 and 2.
I know,
It was
EMF.
3
but
and
there's
2.
so much going on.
I know, there's a lot
So
going
I
on.
was trying to get it from one source.
What was
I'm not
radiation?
trustworthy?
The highest we got was 595, so that's a 2.
Mhm.
I'm checking
No,
it
but
again.
after you said it the third or fourth time, I didn't hear it still.
And then you
Jesus.
Right?
Hold on.
What are the rest
is...
of them?
Okay. top to bottom. We have 4, 3, 2, 3, 3, 1.
Did you hear her laughing just now?
I did.
That was me.
Okay, she messed with the cross.
Oh, it turned the cross.
That was me laughing.
Alright.
Did that not count? That was a decent. Oh wait, that wasn't a decent. Wait, hold on. What the fuck? Cross.
Alright,
Okay.
we're scanning.
Yep. We should be fine. We have plenty of info, so that should be more than enough.
Well,
I
let's
feel
see
like
what's
this is
over
giving
there.
me cancer.
How's the games going? It's going good. How are you? Yeah, I feel unsafe around that.
I apologize for anybody who doesn't like flashing lights.
Yay, now I have a tumor.
Oh,
Ooh.
it's hunting.
Uh-oh.
Bitch.
No, 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 no. What? Oh.
I did not get to do those pictures.
Oh, Orchid. Oh,
Survived.
Orchid, my queen. No.
Well, maybe
I
she'll
just
come
had
back.
to hide next to a toilet full of dookie.
I stood in the kitchen and watched her be murdered. I'm not ashamed.
I did too.
So there is a like a little mini game after you die that may let you come back to life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a tarot card pool.
Yeah.
It's pretty
see.
cool.
I told Chessie to pick one because she never steers me wrong and she killed me.
And she got you killed.
She got me immediately killed the first time I did it.
Chessie.
I said, Chessie, pick one.
did that on
You would
purpose.
never let me die. You'd never steer me wrong.
It's not letting us go, so maybe she's coming back.
Ooh, maybe.
Yeah. Or she's still in the game.
True.
Arcadian, did you come back?
BB.
She's a real girl. I heard
My
her
BB. Where'd you go?
Where are you?
Orchid.
Arcadian, are you a dead girl?
Oh.
Let's go.
I can't see anything.
See anything?
Where are
Maybe you'll be like Daredevil now.
I don't even know where she is.
You were just
Arcadian,
by
where
me.
are you?
Come back.
Where? In the room?
No one's home.
Let's go.
Hmm.
Let go. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Oh.
Did you find the artifact?
Oh, no, we haven't done that yet.
Then we can't leave.
Oh.
We gotta find the artifacts.
Find the artifacts. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, bitch. Fuck you.
Fuck off.
No, no, no. Aww.
Onyx died.
No, that's not me. That was chaos.
Oh,
God damn.
Chaos died.
Not on here. Sorry, give me one sec.
No, you're good. You're good.
It's in here. Help me, help me.
Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you?
I'm in the side room.
Side room. What side?
Come help us.
Where are you?
Sorry. What am I looking for? What's happening? Oh, yeah. Wait, how do I...
Keeping my view active across the
I found
chats.
one, I found
Thank
one.
you.
I need an item for it.
Mm.
I don't have one.
Oh, this side room. I didn't know this opened.
I already found that one. I already found that one.
Okay.
If you want to give the other one to Weiss, we can do it. Or if
Here
you
you go.
want to do it. Okay,
Oh,
cool.
it's fine. It doesn't matter to me.
You can come protect us with the spray.
Let me get more spray. There's no more spray. Oh, wait. Here we go.
This is glowing in here. Hold on. I found one.
Okay, we're done. Let's go.
Okay.
Hey.
Oh, I appreciate how long the sprint lasts.
I tried to protect you.
Thank you, Pinguita. It's going well. Oh, you're back to life.
How convenient.
You sweet Pinguita. Thank you so much.
All right, we finished this. We can't hear you, Chaos.
I want to beat you with my eel.
Thank you, whoever gave me a hydrate a little while ago. I really appreciate it.
Hell yeah, we made 760.
Ooh.
We got a photo of someone's eyeballs.
So there's different ways to play this game?
Yeah, there's investigate or identify and there's cleanse.
Oh, okay. I like that. Thank you, Twizzy. I appreciate it.
Alright, let's fucking go.
Go. Let's go. Boom, that just happened. Thank you so much for the bits. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you for the alert, Krabby.
Let's give you a shout out.
Do we want to cleanse again on the same map or identify?
Cleanse is fun. I like both. I honestly don't care.
Do we want to raise difficulty?
Oh.
I want to be scared.
Is that a no?
I want to feel something.
Okay.
All I said was
I want to
woo.
feel
like a no.
something.
We can.
I need that itch scratched, you
All
know?
right, doing it.
Orchid, could you do it for me?
Is that why you're sitting, your man sprinting?
Yeah, exactly.
There's a cream for that.
Okay, we're gonna go.
There's also an orchid for that.
Hey!
Aspen Heights, and then we're gonna do identify.
I'm so happy I found the same exact people like me on Twitch. Thank God. Thank
Real.
God I found this group of friends.
Burp stuck.
Ooh. Oh my God. Christmas time.
I actually got to be in the passenger seat.
Oh my God, are you in front?
Excuse me.
What?
I am in front. You're with Chaos in the back.
Ugh.
Chaos is muted.
Chaos.
Excuse me. My God. Boom, 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 boom. I want you in my room. Ooh, it's snowing.
Are you playing music on your end?
I just like that song.
Oh. When you start singing, I'm like, she's listening to music over there.
No, I'm not. Okay, I'm ready.
Me too.
I think Chaos is AFK. Where the fuck is the entrance? Hello?
Hello.
Oh, hey! And where were you, young man? Where were you?
Stretching my butthole.
Oh. Good job.
Stretching that booty hole.
Oh.
Hey, no light switch in here.
Hello? Oh my god. Looks like Janet Jackson.
Ooh.
Mm, mm, mm,
I got
mm.
some. I got Geiger in.
Chaos is on the other side.
I got Geiger upstairs.
Wow, this is...
Ooh. 574.
What kind of room is this?
That door is locked. Okay. Well, I got Geiger in here.
It's a weird house.
Go away.
Me?
You see something that says "Go away"? Oh, we can take a picture of that. I got it.
Locked.
There was a shadow in here. He turned on the lamp.
It turned that light on.
Mm-hmm. It did. We're not gonna open.
Any Geiger from
And
that?
turn the floodlights on.
You can turn the flood.
It turned this lamp on. If anyone has.
Oh.
This house is
EMF,
crazy.
Check that. It's definitely up here somewhere.
Does anyone have a thermometer?
I believe it's this room because the temperature is just plummeting.
Which is this room?
Yeah, which one?
This bedroom here by the
Oh, the one that turned the lamp
Yeah.
on in.
It's in here.
yeah, temperature is just plummeting.
Bitch.
We'll put this against the wall here. Hi, Ghost. How are you today? Did you wash your butt today? Did you actually get soap between your butt cheeks?
You're walking.
You're in Milwaukee.
My bad. Did I fix it?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you get soap between your butt cheeks when you washed today?
60.
How clean is your peen? Are you gonna leave spectral goo on anything? Where are you?
You can put the thermometer on the wall, by the way.
We got spirit
Yeah,
box.
spirit
Airball.
Oh, we have.
Ollie's
High
drowsy.
radiation.
Oh, come
Wait,
here, Ollie's
spirit box and
drowsy.
radiation?
Hello.
Yeah, we have the big
You're in
radiation.
Oh no, I
You
walked
can
out
put
of
the
the room.
thermometer on the wall, babe.
It's behind you on the wall right now.
It is? Oh. Here, I'm gonna leave the UV. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Boom, 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 boom. Jesus is in this room. He's gonna keep us alive.
You've trapped him.
I wish I could jump so I can get my tootsies up on the desk.
I want to jump on everything too. I jump on everything in games.
Seriously.
I just want to move.
Oh, it flipped across.
Oh?
I'm taking a picture. Got it. Oh, not that one, UV.
Did someone burp or was that a ghost?
That was me. Hey, look, a shadow.
I got it. I got that.
Oh, I was about to, but oh shit.
I already got
I'm
it.
still not used to the controls yet.
It's all good. I already got that picture though.
Alright, I'm gonna delete mine.
I'm gonna close this
Who has
door.
the lighter?
I don't have a lighter.
Are we passing a joint? Let's go. Actually, I haven't smoked yet
But we
today.
don't
Holy
need
fuck.
the eel.
Where's my thing?
Oh, we don't need the eels?
God damn it. What was it?
No, because we're doing identify,
Oh, it's
not
upstairs.
close.
That sucks.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so we have radiation and audio.
Radiation and audio.
I played
What
this
are they?
game
Oh.
Oh my god! Hey!
Another
hey,
W
Batty.
raid.
Welcome in, raiders! Welcome in!
Let's go.
Woo!
Oh. Daddy, no! Sorry.
Daddy, no!
Daddy,
Oh my God,
No, I was trying. You wouldn't let me.
Murder. Red rum. Red rum. Red rum. Red rum.
Thank you so much for the raid! Welcome in.
Whoa. Yo, I need this for all my shit. This is sick. Paint this shit black and put my bones on it.
We are cumless.
Cumless. Oh no.
It's not. It's touching the doors,
You're in
but it's
radio.
not leaving jizz.
I have been loving the like TikToks that come out of Tomodachi Life.
Behind you, it's gonna come out of the
It's so good. Right, Mom? Right, Chaos Mom? Fucking pancakes sound great right now. I'd make some pancakes right now. I have everything I need for it.
Orchid sent me a video
mom
today
and
of
Celia
scrambling
can't
pancakes.
eat wheat and stuff, so
I've seen some
Scrambled
stuff like
pancakes. Yeah. Scrambled pancakes.
That's wild.
Crazy. What a time to be
But,
alive,
like,
right?
I've been making my own butter lately.
Ooh,
I've been making my own butter
ooh.
lately, and making your own butter produces
so
your own
good.
buttermilk, which means fresh buttermilk pancakes.
Oh my gosh. How do you make your own butter?
Right?
Thank you for the
I just put
follow.
it in
Lucy
the.
pancakes just
Thank
fine.
you also for the follow. I put it in the in my I have a mixer.
Is
A
it like
KitchenAid mixer.
Oh.
And you just
Gotcha.
turn it all the way up and make sure you should get one of those covers for it. I
Yeah.
don't have one, so I use a saran wrap. And you basically just let it go on high speed until the liquid and the solid separates.
See, I used to have
and
a
then when you
mason
take it
jar
out,
one.
It's just there's yeah, you can't do that. You can just shake it for sure.
Well,
But
the
with
the
this,
one
like,
the
all you
one
gotta
we
do is
had,
basically keep.
it was like it was a mason jar and it had a paddle with a a crank, and you like cranked it instead of shaking
Gotcha.
it. Yeah.
And it just keeps it going.
Mhm.
Yeah, this one just goes full speed, and eventually the liquid and the solid will separate.
Holy shit.
After it like becomes whipped,
We have UV, guys.
and you just after it becomes solid, you take it and you rinse. You keep rinsing out the solid in cold water until it comes out clear. And then after that, you just dry it off, pat it, and then store it, and it's good to go.
Oh my
Bath
god.
salted
I
also.
have a KitchenAid. I have to do that.
Oh, run!
No, no, no,
Run.
no, 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 not me, not me. Take him. Take him.
Oh, fuck you! Oh shit! You bitch!
Rip, buddy, rip, rip.
All you hear is the neck breaking.
Look at him. Look at his toes. The dogs are out.
Y'all were too busy talking about pancakes to hear me say we could leave.
Hey, we were talking about butter, not pancakes. Thank you very much. We were talking about how to make your own butter.
Right here in this room.
We can go. Unless you want more photos.
Let's wait and see if Weiss gets out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it won't let us leave if he gets out. We can't leave until he does his puzzle. Get in
That's-
the box.
That's chaos. Okay. I keep losing track of who's who.
Okay.
I got purple.
Yeah, you got the purple and you got well, you have like the
Okay,
Ouija
get in the
pants.
box.
Put your dick in a box.
I think I know that.
Wait, what is it?
Oh yeah.
Phantom.
Oh, hold on.
It didn't.
I got out. You raggedy.
I wasn't trying to leave you. It was chaos.
I got out, you raggedy bitch.
First of all, you just screamed so loud in my ear.
This is what it sounds like when you're on the walkie and we have
Talking the whole time. Oh my god. Whew.
I
don't know how to get out.
I literally said we can't leave until he
Where
finishes
are
his
you?
puzzle. Nobody tried to leave anybody.
Someone help! I can't see. It's dark.
Where did he die? I forgot. Oh no, he died downstairs.
Thank you.
We ran through the kitchen.
You're welcome.
There you
Okay.
Aha!
are.
I made it.
She just appeared too. She's walking upstairs. I like a kid. Close
Chaos,
the door.
Mom. Why do you think I need an old school butter churner? I ain't working for that
I got a
shit.
picture. I took a picture of her ass.
Did you circle Phantom?
Oh no, I didn't. I did not. Hold on.
It didn't count? What do you mean no anomaly captured?
It's my
Tell me
DK
that's not a
box.
fucking anomaly.
Hi.
Look at that picture and tell me
Phantom.
there's no anomaly in that picture.
All right, I got it
What
selected.
picture? Where?
We're crashing out, guys.
Where?
I
I'm
already have to
crashing
lift
out.
hundreds of pounds of beef
Thank you
and
so
pork
much, Luke.
daily.
I'm so happy
I don't
you're
need to be
here.
churning my own
I saw your
butter too.
TikToks, and I was like, oh my gosh, this girl is so cool, and I love that your mods and your community love you so much. I immediately was like, oh my gosh, I adore this person.
You
I
see
have
it,
to
Onyx?
follow.
Do you see the picture I'm crashing?
And I was
out about?
hoping to catch
No.
one of your streams.
Which
because
one
is it?
We're streaming at the same time.
Oh.
So I'll just have to catch one in the future.
Tell me there's no fucking anomaly in that picture.
Wait, what? Hold on.
No anomaly captured. You don't say.
Yes,
She's literally
of
tripped and
course.
fallen on the stairs.
I love
She's me
getting to
shitting in a
meet
corner.
people, especially when I get to meet like fellow streamers, and I love supporting my streamer friends. My Discord, which by the way, if you want to join, it's pinned at the top of chat. Hell yeah, we only had one hunt. That's not bad. We did pretty well.
I will be right back.
I think we need to make
Oh.
room in the box.
I don't want to be in here.
I don't think we need the
Get me outta here.
EALs unless we're gonna actually.
Chat, I am going to play some music. I'll put on the be right back screen. Actually, I will get in the truck in case they want to leave. There we
At least you can pull your eels out if we're not doing cleanse.
I'm back to.
Hunt thing? The Easter egg hunt? Is that not?
I don't know. I don't think it is.
Because we have like an Easter egg event shop.
Because
right
there's a
now.
survive.
We do?
There's cleansers identifying there's survive the night, which is coming soon.
Survive the
only other thing I
night?
see.
Oh, it probably is too late then. It probably passed.
Yeah. So the shop's probably still just there for people who have currency.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
Oh, I want to do the survive the night one. That sounds
It's
really
not out yet,
fun.
unfortunately.
Oh,
Yeah, it'll be coming soon.
I'm gonna forget about it. Will you remind me?
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you. I don't.
Totally.
I absolutely
Yeah, I
do
got you.
not trust you to remind me.
Yeah. I don't trust myself. So you're smart.
Oh. Let's do this. Eyes, sad, sad love that you wear so well. When you see my face, hope it gives you hope, it gives you hope. Let me.
There are so many Pokemon up on my screen right now. It's crazy. Oh, well, boss battle started, so they all just disappeared.
Why? Oh, that's so weird. Alright. We'll take temp, we'll take the cross, and take that.
I'll take this EMF.
Oh, we're back.
Welcome back from the ads, y'all. Such an ugly house.
Damn, you judging their house all.
Well, yeah, it's fucking ugly.
I mean, it was made in the 70s, of course. Everything's fucking ugly.
I kind of dig it if it was black. If it was all black.
Hi.
I love a good mid-century modern.
Ooh, basement.
There's a fucking prison down here.
Yeah,
A
there is. What the
prison?
fuck?
Where's the basement? Where's the basement? I want to see. Ooh.
And there's chalk.
The basement is usually downstairs.
No, it's up.
Dude, look how many tally marks there are on the wall.
Oh, wow.
That's not a lot. I've been in a basement longer than that.
Oh, there's a camera.
This fucker color coordinated their basement tally marks. What a, you know, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
There's more on this wall too.
The mirror window is a nice
Is
touch.
there?
The
I've still been in
window.
the basement
That's-
longer.
Oh,
Oh my god. Is this one like one of those houses where they kept the children in the basement?
I don't know. I'm
It was the
hoping
70s. That was pretty common.
not. Children, no. No, please.
Oh, she's right behind you.
Yeah, I see that. I'm gonna go upstairs and
picture.
chase it. You go the other way.
In the kitchen. It's in the kitchen.
You go
Kitchen,
that way.
kitchen,
I'll go.
kitchen.
You guys gotta start taking pictures of these ghosts when they
Oh.
show up.
This is my last round,
Wow.
by the way, guys.
Bitch, where are you?
I don't know how to press buttons yet.
Girl, you got two hands. Have a camera in
No, I
one and
don't.
you're
I only
shooting
have
the
one.
other.
I lost one in the war.
Which war?
This group is so ADHD.
1812.
War of 1812. I just want to be jump scared. I thought that was supposed to be a scary game. Where's the scares? Are you
Oh, yeah.
angry? Are you gay? Do you like men?
Yes to all.
Holy shit.
You scared the fuck out of me.
Oh, hello.
I'm sorry.
Shit.
Okay, now I'm not. Okay, fuck you.
No fuck.
Why is this one?
It's just locked.
No, fuck me.
It's just locked.
Shit's locked in the game.
Stuff's going off.
Chaos hates to see me coming with bad
I do, because you make the beeps happening. I'm not turning my EMF off. I refuse. You have to listen to this because you keep putting that device down. Beep.
Boop. Boop.
Beep boop.
Boop. So good at Simon Says. Hold on, let me cook my tootsies. Yeah.
You really are. Dude, you lifted your foot up. Like, put it on top. What the fuck?
Are you here with us?
I think that's a yes.
That's a yes.
That is a
T
yes.
instead of R. I think. I don't even know.
Can you turn off the light?
Do you like boys?
Do you like pussy?
Do you like boys to men?
Freezing temps.
There's
We have spirit.
Yeah.
Spirit.
Yes.
Freezing.
And
Audio.
Does anyone have writing a book down or anything?
We just got freezing and audio.
no book. I don't have book.
Okay, bitch. When I said put out the light, I didn't even blow up the fucking bulb.
Who got book?
Hey, how many game men does it take to change a light bulb?
Where is the book, guys?
Oh wait,
Where's
no,
the
hold
easel?
on. How many game men does it take to put in a light bulb?
Did nobody
Oh, she
bring,
turned off
bring
the
it in?
light. I didn't see it. It touched. Yeah, it touched the light. Let me go check.
Oh, nobody wants to hear my joke. It's pretty funny.
Pop, pop, pop.
Ezel.
Nobody brought it in. I'm bringing it.
That wasn't my responsibility. I brought the
It
boombox
is.
in.
Nobody said it was your.
I was gonna join your Discord, Weast, but there's no link to it.
Yeah, that's because I want people to be like, hey, can I get that link?
Nah.
Because I don't want people because I've had people randomly join it to troll.
Oh. Can I have the link?
I've had people
I had
like
to-
come
I
into
made
like
it.
voice chats and do some nasty ass shit in there. So
Ew.
I made mine.
You actually want
that
it.
You had to.
Yeah,
you
I
had
actually
to
do.
apply to get into mine because I've had. people
yeah, I need
start
to
being
try
assholes.
that too. Yeah, yeah.
Oh.
There is an actual Discord link there.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
I need to add to that text to be like, hey, ask for the link
She touched the light over
to
here.
do that.
We don't have UV then. Over
Oh,
here behind
look.
you.
Oh, god damn it. Wanted to take the picture. I finally pressed the button right.
So she's over here.
Guys, I swear this joke isn't offensive, but it's funny. Do y'all want to hear it?
I'm scared.
It's not offensive.
Mm,
Are you scared of the ghost or the joke?
little of both. No, I'm not scared of the ghost. I'm more scared of the joke, I think.
No.
Do we even know where to hide?
I swear, it's not. It's not offensive.
Waste
actually
is the
pretty
scariest thing in this house.
Oh, she right on it.
funny. It's fair. It's fair. I am the biggest monster here. But it's simple. It's just how many game men does it take to change a light bulb to put in a light bulb?
Oh my god, I sprayed it.
What are you
Didn't mean to.
spraying?
I didn't mean to. I did my
Wasted a
No, I
spray.
didn't mean to. I'm so sorry, Queen. Please.
Spray me.
don't-
Spray me. I'll
don't
disappear.
yell at
I
me.
swear. The answer is just one, but an entire emergency crew to take it out.
You just waited for us to answer and then you just went for it when we didn't.
Yeah, I know. No one here
Bad.
appreciates comedy like I do.
This slammed right in my face.
She turned it off again? Are you turning it off, Scales?
Oh, I should probably run, actually. Yeah. Oh.
Oh, behind you, bitch. Behind you.
No, I have to spray! I have to spray! No!
Die!
I had to spray because I used the last spray on accident. No! I would have lived. Oh, hey. Oh, hey. Yeah? Pick? I'm not letting Chessie pick. Twiz, pick one. Twiz, you'll never steer me wrong like Chessie did. Twiz, pick one. Which one? Hurry. Fast, Twiz. Chessie's not allowed to pick one. Don't let her do it. 4. Let's see. You saved my life! I think. Maybe? Are you gonna be nice to me? Yeah. Get the fuck down, bitch. Twiz saved my life! Twiz saved my life! Maybe she just wanted out. I cannot believe Twiz saved me and Chessie.
So Chaos is the one that keeps turning it off but not saying anything.
God damn it.
I have my mic off. She wrote. Babe, all we need that for is to find out if she will turn it off, and she already did. So we don't need to turn it back on.
Oh, hello.
What evidence are we missing? Hi.
We're not missing
Hi.
anything.
I had Chessie's husband pick my tarot card this time and he saved my life. He made up for his wife.
We're done. We got writing. We're done.
Dope. Who?
Tasks. Sanctified
Iblis?
cross interaction.
What's an
We
Iblis?
need a cross interaction.
Audio freezing writing. Iblis powerful.
Do we even have a cross? Is it in there already?
Yeah, there was a cross. I swear I saw a cross on the wall. Maybe I'm thinking of the last round.
Cool.
Let me see. I'll go with you.
We had it last round. You're still in walking.
Oh, she just did. She just did it. We're good.
Boop, boop, boop.
Hey, no, I'm not gonna.
Are you gonna be on longer?
Raggedy hoe.
I missed the picture.
You guys?
She said, look at me.
For all of you?
If
If anybody is still streaming, I'll just raid out to you guys to babysit.
I think all of us
I'm
are.
probably gonna get off because my kid wants to be spending some time with me.
Yeah. Oh. I don't know if they can hear me in the loading screen. Can you hear me?
I had fun. We should play this again.
I really liked it. I like it. I wish I would have gotten scared.
Oops.
though.
I forgot to circle the ghost. I identified all that.
No.
Ghost type.
Yeah, Dylan just got home from work, so I'm gonna get off and hang out with him for a bit before bed.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Thank you guys for playing. It's so fun every time with you. Mwah. Every time. Goodbye, everybody.
Kisses for everybody.
Kisses for everybody. Kisses for chat. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
I kissed Weast right on his dick.
Why does it always mute when I get right back into the game? It's so dumb. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I love
Every
y'all.
time
Thank
we go
y'all.
back to the-
Appreciate y'all.
Every time we go back to the lobby, it turns our mics off.
Every time. It's so dumb.
I hope you have a fun
Bye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye.
You should play it and post it. Not post it, but like stream it.
There we go. Let me go. I have to go end my call in her Discord. Okay, call is ended. And let's raid out. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Huh? Sound good? I'm sorry this stream wasn't as long as my normal ones. It was just a short little 2-hour stream. My daughter, she did not want to go to bed tonight, so she ended up staying up until 9 o'clock, just about. Left. Why do you do
Left
this to
4
me?
Dead just rated with 18 viewers.
Why do you do this to me every time? You do this to me every time. I'm literally getting off and you raid me with 18 viewers? What do you mean? I'm gonna have to send them to somebody to be... Can I take them to Chessie to be babysat? Is that all right? Chessie and Jojo are playing Hightail right now. Send them to Chessie! Double raid! Who else raided me? Hold on. Double raid. I see Left's group and that's it. Who else is raiding? Is it Deadbeat? Is it my tween? No, I mean raid and then you raid out. Oh, okay. I was like, wait, who are you playing with tonight? Usually it's a Thursday. Where's Chessie? Am I looking? I'm tunnel visioning. I'm looking right over her. I know I am. There she is. I found her. I found my love. I found my love. I was playing with myself. I know what I said. Love you. Thank you so much for the raid. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to get Chessie to babysit him. I was gonna say, did you unfollow? No, never. I would never. But Dylan just got home from work. He worked really, 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 really late tonight, and I want to spend some time with him before we go to bed. So that's why I'm getting off earlier than normal tonight, or else I would be on until midnight. Let me do the raid message. Oh, I'm still sharing chat. Oh shit, hold on.
Well, oh, that scared me.
Yes, leave collab. Onyx raid for my love. Super Psycho, yeah. Maybe I'm the one. Maybe I'm the one. Psycho, yeah. Here is the raid message. And we're raiding out in 30 seconds. I love you guys so much. I'm sorry I didn't have a full stream tonight, but I will see you guys tomorrow night. I don't know what we're doing. We might be doing repo again. I really want to play the Kletka update, but I think we got invited maybe to a repo. Not sure. We are raiding out in 5 seconds. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thank you for the follows, the subs, and the bits and everything. Love you. Yeah.
Oh my goodness! Onyx! Thank you so much for the raid. I always feel like 9 p.m. is so early, but I forget that East Coast is... What's that?
Onyx. It's only 11.
What in the world?
What are you doing?
Low level fatal error window. What is this? What is this message in the chat, Onyx? Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, everybody.
What are you doing with your life, Onyx?
What is...
It is early. I was gonna say 9 o'clock is pretty early, but...
Ooh, she has to see me as Cell.
Oh my gosh. You do. You have to see...
I'll be there in like 5 minutes.
You have to see Jojo. He's cosplaying as Cell.
Cosplaying as Cell.
I made it daytime so they'll be able to see you.
Oh my god.
What is this?
He's so cute. He looks like Cell.
Your raid message might have bugged a little. That was weird. Well, hello to the Apothecary and to the Left 4 Dead crew. Welcome in, everybody. My name is Everchessie. If you haven't met me before, I'm a variety streamer. And right now I'm playing Hightail with my friend Jojo.
I'm Cell.
Sorry, my friend Cell.
I need a voice changer.
How was playing the other side? How did the game go? I was there checking in. I was trying to keep my lurk up.
There we go. I am going to end stream. I love you guys. Good.